Ask, and you shall receive. Paul asked, and he received God's provision. But there was a twist. Paul did not receive what he asked for, or what he might have expected. My name is Dave Hughes, and this is Glory Bound Ministry. Let's take a look at 2 Corinthians 12, 9-10 for some answers. And he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. Therefore, I am well content with weaknesses, with insults, with distresses, with persecutions, with difficulties, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong." God had a response for Paul. The answer was not what Paul initially hoped for or expected, but God still had a response for Paul. It's tempting to close our ears to God if he responds in a way we did not hope for or expect. But it happens. Thankfully, I might add. Instead of removing the thorn from Paul's life, which we think was his vision impairment, God gave and would keep giving his grace to Paul. The grace God gave Paul was sufficient to meet his every need. Paul learned something we can all benefit from. There are two ways to relieve burdens. It can come by removing that load, that thing that we come to God about, or by strengthening the shoulders of the one that bears these burdens. Instead of taking away the thorn, God's grace strengthened Paul under it. God showed his strength through Paul's weakness. To do this, Paul had to believe that God's grace is sufficient. I think it's difficult to believe God's grace is sufficient until we realize the true inefficiency in and of ourselves. Rely on the Lord. Go to him for all things. Be thankful. Humble servants. Have a humble servant heart. We serve an awesome God. May his will be our own. Amen.